Hey everybody, this is Bill, the Fox Body Phantom, and we are over here in Plainville tonight at this small show that's set up for one of the senior centers. We found out about the show on Facebook. We were happy to come down. It actually looks like a nice turnout tonight. There's a fair amount of cars. I would say it's probably around 30 to 50. There's some really cool stuff here today. I'm going to be happy to go around and share that with you. Once again today, we're going to hit our favorite Fox Body and the Phantom favorite of the day. So let's get around and share some of this beautiful stuff with you. I'm gonna start here with this 1959 Cadillac. Absolutely stunning. I got a chance to talk to the owner, and man, what a character, right? He has a lot of cars. He's almost 80 years old. This car has, like, I think he said it was like 50,000 miles on. He's owned it for 32 years. I love the style on these old Cadillacs. I think, again, we talk about this all the time. This is when Cadillac talked about being the standard of the world, and man, were they. Look at all the style on this car. All the chrome in the front. The bumpers hadn't changed yet, so they didn't get kind of, crazy in the front yet. The paint is beautiful, the two-tone. I love the interior. The fins are incredible, but you see the interior on these cars, it's just so cool. And again, he's got a lot of the stuff from like the nostalgia stuff here with the Time magazines, some of the calendars, the Elvis character, obviously with Elvis kind of with the pink Cadillac back in the day, and this is more of a salmon color. But these are absolutely beautiful, and again, the fins look incredible on the car. You know, we talked about like this being a really good driver car. I would say this is nicer than a driver. It just looks stunning. And again, look at these taillights back here, the fins, just the complete opulence of what Cadillac was doing in '59. This car I'm going to shoot up here is this gorgeous Oldsmobile. The stuff, pre-1950 isn't always in my wheelhouse. Amazing car, right? Straight 8 motor, great looking wheels. What I like about this the most on this car is the interior. I just think it looks phenomenal. We were looking at the interior and the dash. It just looks so cool. Like, again, I wish we could go back to something like this today. And it's not anything that's like, super complicated. It just looks great. Like everything in there has a design to it. It is utilitarian in some ways, but it's utilitarian with style, if that makes sense. I mean, look how cool that steering wheel is. It's just a great looking car. I'm not usually a Corvair guy. There's actually one of the ones that was that's around all the time. There's like a red one that's super sharp, but this one I just like the color. I'm looking at this, and the couple of things that are really standing out to me is I love the color. Obviously, the body match color to the interior. Same thing on the wheels, right? So the kind of the wheel covers under the wire wheels are also body match the color. It looks great, and these have really good lines. This is the Corvair Monza, so the kind of the sportier version. And they didn't get a lot of love back in the day because people didn't love the rear engine design. They didn't know how to drive it yet, but I think it looks pretty cool. And again, in this color specifically, which interior I think looks absolutely great. This C4 Corvette, I think it's an 89. I like it for a couple reasons, just like I talked about that Corvair. Now, I like C4s more than obviously I like Corvairs. This is the twin port injection car. 89 would have still had the same rear end as the 84 style when it launched. Also, you would have said there's still that same, like what they call like that video game style dashboard, which is pretty interesting. The giant sills, and you go in. This would have been the 245 horsepower motor. But I like this, again, being body matched to color. You have a dark blue top, a blue interior, the blue exterior. I like these wheels. These wheels were only out for like 2 years in like 89, 90. So I call it like that salad shooter style wheel, which I think looks pretty cool. So I'm a fan of these. And again, the C4s I've talked a lot about, but again, I think they don't get enough love. And this is a cool color combination on, a late 80s C4 before they would transition in the next couple of years into the LT1 motors. This car here is a beautiful 1970 GTO. Husband and wife with the Mustang we picked for our favorite car of the night. Love the style on this car. This green, now you see in the Pontiac you get a little bit of a darker green, but hearing the story from the owner, this was a friend of his car when they were actually growing up. He had a Firebird. His buddy had this GTO. Probably, I want to say it was over a decade ago, his buddy kind of came back and said, I'm probably not going to be able to restore the GTO. I'd like to, have somebody do it. So he got this car from his buddy. So he's known the car since the 70s. 400, turbo 400 car. You have that GTO type, Judge type stripe on it, but no other Judge type, decal. So I think it works great with the car. And again, Pontiac did this quite a bit too, like we talked about with that Corvette. I love the matching interior, so the green on green looks great. And Pontiac did a lot of green on green. I'm a green fan too, just like I am with orange. Those are my two favorite colors, so I'm definitely drawn to both of these. And this one looks incredibly sharp. So big fan of the car. Thank you for bringing it out and sharing it. 70 GTO 400 turbo 400 transmission, beautiful car. Too excited the other night at Bass when I shot the King Cobra. This is not a King Cobra, this is a Cobra 2, but I do like this car a lot. I actually like the Mustang 2s. I've actually talked about buying a Mustang 2. I just said to my wife, I said, this is a car I would buy. You know, I love the American Racing wheels. I had those on a Monty SS. I think they look great. It's so funny. I think, you know, as I was talking to my wife, Jen, I think those are the same wheels and tires I had on the Monty SS, the BF Goodrich's with these wheels with the white walls. And it looks awesome in the blue and gold. Now, I know a lot of people don't love these cars. And again, it's a small V8. It's the 5-liter, 135 horsepower, 4-speed transmission, 14-inch wheels, right? Maybe these might be 15s. But I like the style on this, right? I think it's cool. You got a sunroof on the car. You've got the louvers. Obviously, you've got a 4-speed manual. So again, this car isn't fast, but it's super fun, and I think it looks great. And again, finally, I think the Mustang 2s are getting a little love. Now, again, if you're getting into a Cobra Mustang 2 or a Cobra, you know, a King Cobra, I think you would probably have no trouble at a show. People wouldn't give you a lot of grief. And I will tell you also, you're going to be one of a few people at a show with one of these cars. So I think it's definitely unique and it stands out. I think it's very, it goes super deep into this truck, but I do want to hit on it because I have never seen one before. 47 Hudson pickup. You know, I like the truck. Again, very similar style to the trucks of this era, but what I like on this one is I even think it looks even more utilitarian. I know I use that word a lot. That's not the word I'm intending to use, but it looks more industrial, I think is a great word for this. This looks like, you know, the big fenders, like almost like you'd have on the sedans, the big running boards, but I love the bed, you know, wooden bed, very much a, you know, bare bones interior, just like most of these trucks would have been. This is a 3-speed on the column. So again, this was designed to do work, right? To go out onto a farm, to go haul stuff into a business. So a very cool, very rare. So this is very cool. 1968 Camaro. I love talking to the owner here. She got this car new. So this was a car she took to school. She's owned it, like I said, since 68. Couple of cool things. One has had one repaint about 20 years ago. The car's been a Northeast car its whole life, so New Jersey, New England. So it needed, the fenders were a little rough. It had to get a little bit of body work, but they repainted it back to the color. I love the black stripe with the yellow. The interior is very original on the car. I love that it's been kept original. But to me, the coolest part of this car is it started life as a 230 6-cylinder. So, I'm sorry, yeah, straight 6. 140 horsepower, and no desire to change that out. Most of these cars, when you get to this, the motor gets changed out. They'll put a 327 or a 350 in there, something with a little more power. This is how the car came out of the factory. I love that it was kept there. Now, again, back in the day, they would have sold more 6-cylinders than they sold 8-cylinders, but you never see the 6-cylinders out and about because people just kind of converted them over. And I love that they've kept it original as much as they can. I think it's great, and I think it's such a cool story to see a one-owner family car since new from 68. Very, you know, I'll date myself a little bit, but if you're gonna make you know, a Ford hot rod, you know, and to me, again, growing up in the 80s, it was all about these vibrant colors, these neon colors, the like street rods that were coming out at the time. Again, this is a very much of the period correct, late 80s, early 90s with these wheels, with these colors, right? That pastel blue with the purple and like the orange. Even the interior is very much of that 80s style with the billet steering wheel. I think it looks great. And again, if you're gonna create like a hot rod style car, why not do something like this? And to me, you know, this is a very cool version of a Ford hot rod, but this is like, again, ZZ Top vibes. And I've said that before in some of the videos, but 100% that's what I get when I look at these. Completely getting like that ZZ Top vibe, very cool. Love this 69 Chevelle. I'm not sure if this is the one I shot in Attleboro a couple of weeks ago. It might have been. You know, this is a Yanko tribute car, and a beautiful Yanko tribute car, right? 427, 425 horse. Love the stripe down the side. Obviously the Yanko SC. We have the Yanko SC on the hood here too, in that butternut yellow with the black vinyl top, manual car. I'm pretty sure this is the one I shot in Attleboro the other day, but that's okay. It's very... beautiful first-year Impala, 1958. 58 to 60, I think, are my favorite Impalas, and they're some of my favorite cars of this generation. You can see we have a 3.2 barrel car. It is a 348. The wide white wall tires, the knockoff wheels. You can see the cutouts behind for like the exhaust dumps. This in white and red looks great. I actually usually prefer like the pastel blues, but as I was looking at this one with the white and red interior, it is incredible, right? 348 tri-power car, 4-speed manual with, my opinion, it's gonna be tough to get back here because all these plants, but in my opinion, one of the best looking rear ends out of any of the cars out there. And I shot the 59 the other night with like kind of the more Batman style taillights, like I called it. This is gorgeous. And then you look at that style on the roof that would go back into these vents, stunning. And then I talk about this all the time, but as you take a look into the back seat with that Impala logo in there, and then this white and red interior, just is incredible. I'm not a red car guy at all. I would buy this in a second. I love this in the white and red. I think it looks incredible. All right, our favorite Fox of the night. Now, this is a little bit of a cheat. There's only 2 Foxes here. One of them's mine. I'm not gonna pick mine, that's not fair. But I will pick this 90 convertible. We've known the owner here. He actually works with the Mass Cruisers, does a lot of the stuff up at the Bass Pro Shop. He has a gorgeous, like 61 Impala. But we talk all the time, he takes this out. It is a very similar spec to the 7-Up car. And actually, I think he has some stuff here in the dash about the car. So sorry, it's a 91. So, very much like the 7-Up edition that came out in 90. This one does have chrome ponies versus the turbine wheels. It does have the white leather interior, so I do love the color on this. My wife was laughing as I was driving up here. I saw this car from like quarter of a mile away, and I go, I think there's a 7-Up car. And she's like, dude, you can't read your mail without your readers on, but you can see this car from 3/4 of a mile away. Yeah, because I want to, because it's very cool. What I like on this too is these white leather interiors cracked like crazy. The interior on this one's very clean. Airbag interior, right? The pony logo over there. It is an automatic, but this will be my Fox body of the night. And I think it's very cool. Back in the day, you would not have had these white stripes going over the top of the car, so that's not factory correct. And these chrome ponies didn't come out till a little later. But still, overall, I think it's super cool, and I like this car quite a bit. Our Phantom car of the night, the Phantom favorite, is going to be this beautiful 1970 Mach 1 behind us. This car is stunning in orange. It's the first car that stood out to me when I came in. There's a lot of really nice stuff here tonight. Gorgeous under the hood, shaker hood scoop, Magnum 500 wheels. You know, again, on the 70 versus the 69, the 2 easiest tells. 2 headlights versus 4, so it's a 2 headlight car. And then the Mach 1 piece that goes along the rocker panel down the bottom is different on this than it would be in 70. 69 would be a decal. 70 would get this piece that goes in that was machined. Love the high back buckets. They would continue these buckets over in 03 and 04 when they would bring the cars back. This is a manual car. Absolutely stunning. Everything looks great on the car. Love the rear window louvers. Just a beautiful version of the car. So this is going to be my Phantom pick of the night. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up with these 3 hot rods right here. All super cool. I love the giant wheels on this. I was talking about one the other day that was kind of the thinner wheels that was more back to what the period would have been. But when you think of a hot rod, this is kind of what you think of. These T-bucket style with the big flames and the big engine and the giant exhaust and the blower. We've got 3 here. These 2 right here, I am pretty sure I shot at the Easton Lion show last year and got a chance to talk to both of the owners. Like I'm 90% sure that's what happened. But again, take a look at this. Great in the purple, beautiful in the green. Love the wheelie bars, love the giant rear tires. They both look super cool. So these are the epitome of very cool old school hot rods. And I'm a big fan of both of them. I think they look great. So I wanted to wrap up. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Pretty fun little show up here in Plainville. Like I said, here for a senior center. Not a ton of cars, but a lot of nice stuff here. Some great conversation. We met some really nice people. So, you know, thank you for the conversation. Thank you for telling us about your cars. We look forward to seeing everybody. We may have another show tomorrow, depending on weather. We're expecting some rain. If not, expect us early next week. We have a Mustang show, so we'll get over there in Rhode Island. And then potentially another couple of cruise nights. So I look forward to seeing everybody. If you haven't done it so far, please hit that subscribe button. We'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks.